Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Amen Brother podcast. Air horns, please. Sick.
That was well done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's good to be back. We're kind of semi out of lockdown, almost. Like, well, not really, but almost. Everyone's got a trim though, and that's making me really happy. Like, I'm looking around the room. Well, actually,
I definitely don't have a trim.
nah, you got a hat on.
You
Actually,
did well.
Yeah, I couldn't fit in.
You know what?
about like Bristol's just long. Do you know what I mean?
For trims.
Yeah, like everything's booked up till like the end of the month.
Fucking hell.
That's mad.
Yeah.
We are lucky in London because I was talking to some people who were like, yeah, I couldn't get an appointment for love nor money. And I was like, oh crap, I'm well late to the party. And then I went on, my local had about hundreds of appointments because it's Green Lanes and it's Turkish Barber Central.
Yeah, it's
Man,
the
I had to
same
trim.
with here, man. There's about 1,000 billion black barbers around here, so that was good. Like,
Yeah, I was savvy, man. I
Yeah.
had
1,000 billion.
last time I checked, like last 2010 census, I think it was 1,000 billion is what it came out as.
Okay, cool.
So 1,000 billion black barbers. So you live in Tottenham, you're good. Basically for a trim and for a skin fade, you're all good, man. But yeah, Rich, you got a trim. And you're wearing a hat. It's just mad.
As soon as I had a trim, I put my hat on.
Yeah, same.
That's
Safety net.
standard.
Yeah, literally.
I just don't want the burns. I don't want the Monty Burns.
Just protecting it.
Yeah.
On the birds.
Not about that life.
Hello and welcome to the Haircut Podcast. So yeah, I think we should probably introduce our guest. He's already given his view on trims in the state of booking trims in Bristol. But it's Mr. Matt Hyroglifics. Hello, sir.
Yo.
Easy G.
How's it going?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, it's good.
So
Very good.
you're in London today. Obviously, you're a Bristol guy, but you're in London because you are playing a socially distant show.
That's right.
You excited for it?
Yeah, I'm ready
Yeah.
as ever.
Did you play many in the last sort of in between period between the last two lockdowns?
I think I might have played one and then kind of just gave up on the whole concept of it because it was just long. Like being outside for like 2 hours, sitting down, it's just not really, for me, that's not really the vibe of what it should be. I don't know about you, but
Yeah. I
I don't know, going from playing like sick raves and shit to then going to playing to, six people who are sitting down at a table is just long. Like,
Try emceeing him, mate.
It just kind of feels like there's no vibe, but there also is vibe, but it's just, for me, it's not the same.
I mean, me and Rich, we had this conversation a lot, don't we? About like, it's weird because we live like literally a 5-minute walk from the cause. So like, in a way, it's like no excuse not to go. Like, it's going to be fun, and we always go. But like, I do hear what you're saying. Like, it's not the same, but it almost feels like it's keeping it going a little bit until it comes back.
Yeah.
I guess I found it's almost kind of like teasing it. It's kind of like giving you a bit of what you want, but not exactly how you want it. And I guess it all depends on how long you're willing to kind of wait that out, innit?
Yeah, but for me, man, that's just, I'd rather have all or nothing because it's like,
I hear that.
it just seems like a limited experience.
Yeah.
I totally respect that. And I think a couple, like even Lawrence last time, he was saying the same thing. And I've spoken to many people who have that opinion. And I think that's a very valid opinion to have. It's just horses for courses, isn't it? Like you said, John, I think for me, and I think you're of the same opinion, it's like, obviously it's nowhere near as good, but it's still a like sort of blessing in a really, really bleak time where nothing was going on. So like, I welcome them because I want to get out of my house, and table dancing is the new thing, isn't it? Just got to hone my table dancing skills, and I'm there.
Yeah, from the community aspect side of it, like I like it because it's like, you'll see your friend. Like obviously we normally see like each other at shows and stuff, and it's like it kind of brings that element back to it. Like you'll see your like DJ mates, or whatever, because of these shows. So from that side of it, I really like it. But yeah, I mean, the day, if it is June 21st, that day we're allowed to have like proper raves, it's going to be emotional, man. I might cry. The first mix I do, probably clang it.
Hey, it's better than the live streams at least as well.
Probably clang, but I'll still cry. It's going to be great.
Have you got a first one booked in, like after the 21st of June, that you know of?
Yeah, I've got a few gigs. Yeah. Doing a couple of festivals, and I think I'm doing the Hospitality in the Park thing.
Yeah.
Sick.
Like one in Manchester as well. But yeah, I mean, who knows if they're actually
Yeah.
So it's just like, I've got shows booked in, but yeah, fuck knows if they're actually going to work.
We've been here before, haven't we? Last year, we've been in the same position, man.
I'm feeling more confident about this time around.
Yeah, I guess the vaccines are, we're doing it again, aren't we? We're talking about vaccinations.
It's
again.
literally COVID every fucking time. I can't help it.
Until we're out of it.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah. Nah, but just sticking on the COVID theme. Anyway, let's talk more about COVID. So you've had a few. Like, one thing we'll get into it later, like about what different projects you're working on, but you just seem like an active guy, man, in the studio. Like, COVID doesn't have seemed to slow you down at all.
There's been moments where I've definitely kind of been like pulling my hair out and been like, what the fuck am I doing? But yeah, I just kind of used it as momentum to sort of fuel production, because I was like, if I can't do gigs or I can't do anything like that, I'm just going to go ham with production and just, you know, see what I can do, basically. So yeah, a lot of last year was just spent sort of building like the foundations of a lot of projects and stuff. And then yeah, now it's just kind of more of a continuation of that, basically.
Sick. I am very jealous. Let's talk about that, man. Yeah, because like, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I saw like on my like release radar. Release radar was like a trap tune or a drill tune. And it was like Hyroglifics. And I was like, what's going on here, man? Like, I didn't know you were into that. Yes, like you've got some mad like width of projects going on at the moment. Like, it's proper varied stuff, man. Yeah, talk to us about that. That's sick.
Yeah, man. So I've just been producing a lot for rappers, basically. A lot of like lo-fi hip hop or just general like UK hip hop guys. And then also got another project with Sam Binger, which is sort of, we kind of made it in response to trying to build something out of Bristol's rap scene. Because there's a lot of good talent, but it kind of seems not represented, or, you know, there's not the right beats are going to the right rappers or whatever. And, or, you know, maybe certain people aren't working as hard as they should be compared to people in London, or they're taking too much cues from London. So we just thought if we could try and build something that was like its own thing, you know, Bristol's rap scene, you know, it's not taking any cues from London or anywhere else. Cause it kind of seems like Bristol's the one part of the UK which could have the next like big rapper. So yeah, like especially when you've got places like Coventry and like Birmingham, like rappers coming out of there, it kind of seems like Bristol should be logically the next step for someone.
Interesting.
I never really thought about that, actually. Yeah, because Bristol's big on so many scenes of music, but actually now I think about it.
You mean like, because it's almost like the Manchester thing blew up.
Yeah, Manchester blew up.
Yeah.
You had like Birmingham with like loads of people, and then and
so
then,
what's the next accent? Everyone's going to be like, "This is sick."
That's
the farmer,
Coventry, man.
The West Country farmer accent's what we've been missing from the rap scene, man. Hold tight.
I mean, you say that like it's a joke, but like, you know, that's going to come through in a couple of years.
I was semi-serious about that.
There's actually some sick kind of like, you know, Bristol accented rappers. Like there's a guy called Slowy. I don't know if you've heard about him. He's like in sort of the grime scene or whatever. But he's fucking sick, man. Like, when you first hear him, you're kind of like, you're like, do I like this? Like, what? And then after a while, you're like, actually, this is like cold. This guy's like sick. It's really good. So yeah, I recommend checking him out if you get
Did he do a thing on SWU FM, SWU?
Yeah, he's regular. Yeah.
I think I see something pop up on my Insta, and it was like a few grime guys. And is he like quite a weird and unique style? Like, it's quite different to anyone else who was actually spitting in a room.
Yeah, I mean, his voice is unique.
It's
man.
mad. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Speaking of like recent rappers that have come through, there's my housemate Liam, who runs Solvent with me. He put me onto, I can't for the life of me remember his name. There's a grime MC, a Scouse grime MC, and for the first couple of tunes I heard of his, it spun me out. It bugged me out so much, and I couldn't get my head around the accent. And then it's like, I think he played me one particular tune, and it was like and I was like, I fucking get it. This is sick. Yeah. And I'm like obsessed with the guy now. And whenever Liam puts him on, I'm like, yeah, it's a big tune. Annoyingly, can't remember the guy's name. My phone's dead, but I'll put a clip in.
That is a really,
wisdom
really good,
as always.
It's a really good story.
All right,
but but I hear what you're saying though, man. Like, the accent thing takes a little while to get over. Like, it's the whole reason why UK hip hop never really blew in the US for a while as well, though, isn't it? Like, they just couldn't get used to a UK guy like rapping, doing the style of music that they supposedly invented, or they did invent it, but you know. Yeah, so I totally get that, man. But yeah, it's weird, like, just coming back to that Bristol rapper thing, like, now I think about it, I can't really think of a big Bristol rapper off the top of my head, like, and Bristol's been the hub of so many different types of music.
You've got people like Bugsy and there's a guy called Dotty as well, and they were doing bits, but like the work rate never seems to kind of be consistent enough to be able to, or they don't have the team behind them to, you know, keep them sort of rising. It kind of seems like they're doing it all off their own back. And then sometimes they're just like, you know, they're real guys out, like, you know, doing stuff. So it's like, yeah, they don't have that backing basically. But yeah.
Bugsy's an interesting one because he's been about for so long, man.
Yeah.
Like so long. And he's like sick, but you're right. Like to me, listening to you say that, why has he never blown up?
It's mad.
Mate, he's sick. He's sick. He's so good. But I don't know, there's just loads of different, you know, there's certain things, I guess, that would hold people back or whatever. Or I think, Bristol's kind of one of those places where you can just live cheap and, you know, you don't have to really do much. And you kind of, because it's so small as well, you kind of think like, if you've done like a little bit, you might have some sort of notoriety, but within London, maybe you have to work harder because there's like 10 times the amount of people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? Tim Penfold, as always, he said that to me a few years ago when he was explaining to me why he'd moved to Bristol, and he said it's just because it's so cheap and it's full of creatives. It's a quite a unique city in that sense, where you could go there and every producer and every artist can rent a studio, and you've got that space, and then you've got freedom to work on your craft and your art all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you live in London, it's like that's not an option.
That's a massive thing, man. Like, I've been looking at studios to rent out, like around here,
and you have to look like with 3 other people
it's
at
mad.
least.
It's like 10 bags just for a month here. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's mad. Yeah.
what?
Why do we live here? This is.
I
Do you know
don't
what?
know,
Remote
man.
work moving forwards. Let's all fucking move to Bristol.
Out of interest, is that one of the reasons why you moved? Not from like a piss take point of view where it's like, I wanted the slow life where I didn't have to like put the effort in or nothing, but like was it from a
It was
artistic...
literally just because I was with a girl for like 4 years and we were living in sort of South London, and then I went on tour for a month in America and came back and had like a little bit of money in my pocket, and I was like, I can either spend all of this money on getting a new flat, or I'll just like move to Bristol, move in with some mates who just bought a flat or a house, whatever, and they're like, oh, you can rent out the spare room for like literally 300 quid a month or whatever.
Jeez.
And I was like, well, it's either drop $2,500 on renting a flat, like deposit and shit, or just move to Bristol and just see what happens. I basically moved to Bristol and then pretty much was like broke for like the first 6 months or whatever, and then just kept on grinding and doing that shit, and then just kept on building basically.
Nice.
That's great, man.
Yeah, this is a thought that's crossed my mind many times. I think I don't do it because it's like family and stuff, but it's a seriously cool place. It's getting a bit more expensive now though, so if you're listening, people, get in there now.
Well, it's because everyone's going from London to Bristol.
Yeah, everyone's had enough of the London
making
life.
it expensive. Yeah.
Well, you don't need to
Sardine
now, do you,
vibe.
man? There's millions of people around the country now being told that you don't have to like live in London to earn a London salary, because you can now just work anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you can work remotely and shit. So
yeah, I do think the appeal of London's going to decrease in the next couple of years quite a lot, actually. Purely for that reason. Like, this whole pandemic's kind of showing you don't need to. Like, yeah, it's possible for companies to operate like with a complete remote workforce, and I think that's actually going to have an effect like long term.
I think it's already started. From London, really. I'm, a bit more disenchanted with it day by day. Been here quite a while now.
Yeah,
ready for some
old,
country, ready for some fresh air.
I've never known anything else.
Yeah.
Nah, Rich is getting ready to retire, man. He's old.
I am fucking old, mate.
This guy is, he's closer to 40 than he is 30. That is peak.
Literally, yeah.
Dusty.
Literally 4 weeks.
Dusty
4 weeks.
guy.
I'm late 30s. Man. Well, this is uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just thanks to the Bully and Rich podcast.
It's fine. I'm having a beer, drowning my sorrows.
But yeah, back to the Bristol subject though. Like, so since you've moved there, would you say it's had a profound effect on the way you've written music, the kind of style that you've come out with, or do you think that's just wherever you would have been, that style would have progressed naturally?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, man. I think you can kind of just live anywhere and still carry on that creative process wherever you are in the world. But having sort of like being in close quarters with a lot of other musicians and whatever definitely inspired me in a lot of different areas, I think. Like when I landed, I just kind of like made loads of friends with lots of like the grime lot and like some like 140 heads and stuff. And then a few like rappers and whatever. But I don't know, man. I don't think it would necessarily influence it too much. But I don't know. I haven't lived anywhere else apart from London and Bristol to really compare.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
On that note, have you felt like more creative in Bristol, like less sort of pressure, or is it just either way? It's not really a thing.
Yeah, definitely less pressure than when I was living in London.
Yeah.
I think it's just because for me, when I was living in London, I was kind of thinking about money the whole time, and that was kind of took away from.
Nah, for real.
No,
man.
honestly, you think
I know
about
that
like,
struggle.
you're like, when's the next paycheck so I can pay my rent and do all this other shit, and like how I'm going to afford this and whatever. So yeah, I think it kind of takes that pressure off, and you can kind of think about everything else.
Bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rate
You're
that.
not just chasing the check every month, and you can, you know.
London, literally, I know what my paycheck is going out on before it's even fucking come in. And then, now I'm like, okay, yeah, I got 200 quid to last me the month on anything I want to do for fun. And then the credit card comes out and that's about it.
Yeah.
The cycle continues.
How long have you lived in Bristol now then?
Since like 2018, so yeah,
Okay.
a few years. I
Few
think
years.
this food guy is here.
Oh, nice.
Nando's.
Jeez.
We've got another food intermission.
Food intermission.
This time for not chicken McNuggets. It's Nando's.
Nando's
this time.
season this time.
This is a way better one.
Yeah.
So one thing I really want to know about, because the reason I came across you was your first critical release, maybe in like 2015. We did that. That was that tune, Australia. Was it? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Australia.
Bad boy tune. It was kind of like a half D&B, half-time thing. It was really cool. But I remember like in the promo or something, like people were talking about the fact that you did this like Red Bull Music Academy thing. And I was like, I kind of want to know more about that. Like, how did that come about? And was that the thing that kind of, would you say, post that Red Bull Music Academy, that was like, yeah, go on, I'm a producer now? Was that just a part of the journey that you're already on?
Yeah, it was kind of part of the journey that was already on. Like, I think I'd applied. So I think I applied in 2015 for one in Tokyo, and didn't get in. And I was like, oh fuck, I would have been sick to go to Tokyo, whatever. I'll just reapply the next year and see what happens. And then the next one was for Paris. And I don't know if you remember they had the Bataclan attacks.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah.
So I was living in London, living in Brixton, and the night before I was supposed to be getting the Eurostar to Paris, they were like, all the mad shit basically happened, and I was just kind of like texting the rep, being like, "What is it going on? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah.
So basically, then they sort of like rolled over to the next year. We got to go to Montreal. Yeah, Montreal in Canada.
So sick.
So it's basically just they fly you out for 2 weeks, put you up in like a 5-star hotel, and then you're there with like 40 other like-minded musicians, instrumentalists, or like singers or whatever, and you can kind of just collaborate with them for 2 weeks, and attend like lectures and shit from like crazy people like Jax Green or like whatever. Yeah, it was sick. It was so good.
So what's the application process? Have you got like send in like a project, like a tune, or like how's
like
that work?
40 pages, man. Yeah. It's
Wow.
like 40 pages long, and some of the questions are like, draw where you fit in like a musical landscape. And so I just did loads of clouds and shit, and then, but you can just interpret it in whatever way you want, basically.
Yeah.
They wanted to get deeply involved in your mind, basically.
Yeah, I think that's about. Yeah, they're just trying to sort of. I think even if you just like completing the whole thing is a task in itself. So if you do that, they're kind of like, okay, maybe this person is actually serious.
Yeah,
he cares enough, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was there anyone of any notoriety that was like on it with you that like we would know?
I don't know if you'd know any of them.
Yeah.
They're all pretty sick in their own right. Like,
yeah.
Do you know OK Lou?
No.
She's fucking sick. She's producer from Paris.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
She's sick. She's smashing at the moment.
So it's global, like people from all around the world basically all come.
Yeah, so literally all across the world.
Amazing.
Mad.
Put them together, and like I think it's like 40 people in the whole term.
And we just pay for the whole thing.
They pay for the whole thing. They organize trips whilst you're out there. Like we went to like an arcade place and just played some arcade games, and then walked up the Mont, which is like a big hill in Montreal. And then they organize like parties pretty much every night of the week. So they hire out all the clubs in the city they're doing it in, and just run nights and whatever.
Mate, Red Bull have too much money, don't they?
That's sick.
They do the maddest shit, man. That's so sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame they've closed it down now, but
Yeah.
it was cool to be part of like one of the last ones.
Yeah, that's sick. So if we go back even further then, like where would you say your musical start really came from then? Like what was the starting point for you? Like, what was the first cracked door you downloaded?
I think I first kind of got introduced to it when I was like 16. So I'd been playing in bands and stuff before that, and kind of just like, just at school, just playing Nirvana covers and shit with your mates, or like For Whom the Bell Tolls or some shit. And was in a semi-successful death metal band for a while.
Cool.
What?
What were they called?
That's mad.
Dread, like DRED.
Sick.
Yeah. And then, is that your stuff online and that we can?
It was on MySpace, but I don't know if you know, like, if you saw like MySpace got like deleted all its music.
Yeah.
A couple of years back.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a shame, because it's like that was like where I had my catalogue that I could listen back to.
The back cat was there.
Does that mean like all profiles are gone from there as well?
No,
I think the profiles are still there. Music,
Oh, that's a shame, because I can't log into mine. There's a really paid photo on mine. I've been hoping that's been like
everyone who's listening to this, go and search the Richard Twaits Visionobi MySpace and let's find out this photo.
If you can find it, yeah.
I'm going to make that my mission to find.
We'll post it on Instagram.
It's going to be the artwork for this episode.
We won't post on Instagram. Our social game needs to be upped significantly. I'd be happy if we did that, because it'd mean we were like drawing more fucking attention from weird, stupid shit.
Okay.
I'm in it.
That was a weird segue. So death metal to drum and bass. I want to hear. Yeah.
So basically, from that, I think I just had like some like crappy Acer, and I was downloading some cracks of FL. I think I was just kind of using anything I could kind of get my hands on at that time. I just downloading random samples and shit. And then, went to college, took it a bit more seriously, started using like Logic and whatever. And then was like, maybe I can actually like go a bit further.
So you did a music course at college?
Yeah, it was just like a music production like module or whatever, like A level or whatever. And then, then just took that to uni, did a degree in creative music production. And kind of kept it going from there.
So,
where was that? You went to uni?
ACM, so in Guildford, like Academy of Contemporary Music.
I know loads of people with talent went there.
Yeah.
It's a good place to go. It's like actually known.
No. I didn't think you were taking the piss.
Why did you laugh then?
I don't know, because I thought you were saying that you didn't go because you didn't have talent. That's what I thought you were saying.
Standard between you and me, and it's always going to be a cuss thing.
Yeah. That's what I thought you were getting at. Okay, sick. So when you left this death metal band, Dread, were you like immediately onto drum and bass? I feel like, was there like a hard transition to drum and bass? Was it always there?
No, it was kind of always there. I was always interested in it. It's sort of, I remember kind of listening to like some pirate radio stations and stuff, and kind of getting an interest and like trying to learn, hearing like a breakbeat or like a Houston tune or some crazy like LTJ Bookham thing, and being like, how have they made this like these drums or whatever, and not knowing what a breakbeat is, and having to like go to my music teacher and being like, how do I make these drums? And he's like, I've got no idea. And I was like, it doesn't help me at all.
That reminds me of my time on a music course at university, where you just go to the tutors and they're absolutely no fucking help. It's just basically a DOS.
It's a shame, because like a lot of them do have like real world experience, but a lot of the time it's does seem like you're not really learning from sort of people who've really been involved in a lot of things and done a lot of things in their time. But I don't know. Yeah, you get out of it what you kind of like put in, really. Do you know what I mean? If you're willing to go in there and like make those connections and that, then I feel like it can be beneficial.
I think what I learned was just more from peers and research that I did of my own accord. Like, we used to class our teacher so bad, and it was terrible. And I think the fact that I got a 2-1 shows how bad it really was, because how I got away with that, I'll never know. But I was on the course with Gera, so he kind of helped me with a few bits and whatnot. But shout out Harry. Shout out Harry. But I think a lot of them seem to be like that. That's interesting that I, bigged it up and said, it's supposed to be a good one, and now you're here going.
No disrespect to ACM at all. Like, go there and find out for yourself. But I feel like it's very much just like if you're interested in doing music seriously, you're kind of just gonna do it naturally, regardless of whether you go to uni or not.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that statement. I mean, I didn't do any sort of. I mean, I must say my music's good, but I didn't do any sort of musical production training. It was just pure YouTube holes at like 3 a.m. Yeah. So I had to really big gap between YouTube and holes, I didn't I? I was just like, this is pure YouTube.
I just like the way you started
Emphasize
with, obviously
holes.
my music's good.
No, I said, no, wait. I said,
I missed that.
no, I said, I'm not saying my music is good.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
That's me knowing you far too well.
Always trying to paint me out as some arrogant guy, but I'm actually super humble. Come on, bro.
I am the most humble guy on the road.
That is the
Jon
biggest
GLXY.
bullshit statement that's ever been uttered.
That's why he gets put up.
What's going on?
You're wearing a bright yellow hoodie, fam.
Yeah, just trying to brighten your day, isn't it?
You always bright up,
Otherwise,
Jay.
gloomy day. So it sounds cheesy, but would you say your real education started post college then? And was it just a pure journey of experimentation, or was it like key people that helped you out along the way?
I mean, to be honest, like similar to you, like most of it was just learning off YouTube and that kind of thing. I definitely found collaborating with people, like other producers and stuff that were kind of like out of my depth, definitely helped me kind of sort of progress a bit further and kind of be like, oh, this is how that person's doing it. Do you know what I mean? And give you a different perspective.
Yeah, I always find that is super helpful. To be fair, like that's basically what I did with Tom. To be fair, like he was definitely a better producer than me at the time, and like I just learned a lot. I leashed off him big time.
That's still what I do with Harry.
Yeah, so, I don't want to say it, but
That's humility right there, bro. That's real humility.
one of the things that's obviously stood out about your, I guess, career is the word we'll use so far, is the fact that you've done so many different styles of music. I know we touched on it earlier, but like I was kind of listening to some of your stuff beforehand because, you know, I'm a professional, I do research and that.
That humble guy.
Obviously, like, well, we spoke about the Rips thing loads. Like, Rips is sick. I love that. I love that project. I don't know if you've heard it, Jack. If you've not heard it, you need to check it out. It's like super sick.
That's actually something that ties to the Red Bull thing as well. Like, I met Niels through Red Bull basically.
I was going to ask how'd you meet him? Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Niels.
So yeah,
sick.
So it's like, how would you describe it? I describe it as like kind of like a dystopian funk band. That's how I describe it.
I like that.
It's
dystopian funk. So I describe it's like super 70s, like West Coast synth.
Yeah,
funky but like modern production.
And is this something you're doing like separate to Hyroglifics? Hyroglifics.
Yeah.
Ah, see, I was completely oblivious to this.
R-I-P-P-S?
Three P's, isn't it?
3 P's.
Three P's, that's it. Yeah. For anyone that wants to check it out.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely.
put the audio in the episode.
No, definitely check it out, man. It's super sick, man. Like, and then obviously you've got the Wholesome Fun alias as well, which is like what, lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, li-fi kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, this guy, he's a guy. He's a guy. Like,
Jack's mind's blown.
Honestly, Matt is a guy when it comes to making beats. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Fucking hell.
So what's because I actually haven't heard of the Wholesome Fun one. So how does that differ? You said lo-fi hip hop.
That's how I describe it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was just mostly a project that I started with my friend Jack, kind of as a way just to start producing for certain rappers and whatever. And I feel like we dropped like a beat tape album just for fun because we were making loads of beats for like a couple of years. And then we just had this collection of tunes before it would work as a beat tape basically. But yeah, that kind of just, that project kind of led me on to then also like taking my own production and then using that Hyroglifics name to sort of produce for other rappers as well, kind of like on my own and do like projects on my own with rappers. Like, I just finished up an album with Lee Scott.
Saw that one.
So that should be coming out
Sick.
probably October maybe.
What alias is that under?
It's not alias, just produced by me basically.
Yeah.
Just
That's fucking bad.
Yeah, I've got like 3 albums with Black Josh as well.
Mate.
Wait, whoa, what?
We are getting the exclusives today, bro. Yeah, come on. The thing is, he drops it so casually, doesn't he? It's just like, I just done 3 albums with Black Josh, no big deal. Like,
when you say 3 albums, like as in that are not currently released.
Yeah, well,
he's got a backlog of 3 albums.
I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of material.
Sick.
And it's just a case of kind of finishing it and making them into projects at the moment, I guess.
Cool.
And sort of re-recording a couple more bits. But yeah.
He's wicked, man.
Yeah, he's fucking sick,
he's
man.
hard.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a good rapper.
So I guess with all of those kind of projects going on, and like at the moment, obviously you're just enjoying kind of jumping between projects. Do you see yourself kind of honing in on like one direction, particularly when you're old, like maybe like 10 years down the line, let's say?
I don't know, man. I can't really say right now.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just gonna just do the process and just see how it goes. You know what I mean? Like I might kind of be like, actually, wait, I mean, I'm not really feeling one side, and then I can kind of just like
switch between
leave that project to rest for a bit, and then I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just whatever takes my fancy, really.
Yeah, now Rich is thinking about how the fuck do I get some instrumentals out.
I'm always thinking how to get instrumentals.
I can hear the cock sound in his head right now through the mic. It's just like, I need some beats.
I never get beats, or I do, and then they just never work out. This is my life. The cycle continues. It's fine.
I mean, thinking about it on a broad scale, right? There's actually very few producers sort of within drum and bass that I can think of off the top of my head that really do dabble in like a multitude of styles and genres and stuff. I guess Perez does, but like it's still under Alex Perez.
Well, he had that ARP 101 thing, but
and it's still distinctly him, isn't it? Like, I'm very keen to go away and listen to the Rip stuff.
Mate, honestly, you'll love it. Honestly, you'll love it, man. We've had many an after party we just put Rips on. Wow. It's an after party vibe, man. It's
literally like a couple of weeks ago.
It's an afters vibe. I'll have to get Spotify up.
Any track in particular?
Let me get the Spotify up. I'll tell you what my favorite tune is.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do when I get home. I'm going to go like joint, garden, headphones.
Oh, bro, it's weed music,
Rips,
man.
Rips, back hat.
It's definitely weed music. It's weed music for sure.
It's a shame, man, because like me and Niels were trying to do like a longer form project kind of before COVID, and then that kind of like stopped everything from happening basically. But I'm supposed to be going back to Amsterdam in like October, I think, for ADE. So I think I'm just going to stay out there for a week and just stay at Niels' house.
See you there, bro. I'm heading out there as well, man.
Hey, nice.
Hugh is definitely one of them, and it's Odol, O-D-O-L. Yeah, bad boy. I mean, that whole EP is sick, to be honest.
I think Odol means boner in Dutch.
That's why I like it so much, isn't it?
John loving the Dutch boner.
I think it means like, when you got like morning wood, I think that's kind of
that's two very different things.
Well, no,
they're not. They're both erect penises.
One's just giving you a time of day like, as a frame of reference.
One's just time specific,
yeah. One's a time specific boner.
So I thought you said Mona.
No.
That's why I was like, what? It probably baffled me then.
No, boner.
I think I need my headphones turned up, Jack.
What is it about like producing for other people, like rappers or whatever, that you most enjoy, do you think?
I think it's just, it puts less pressure on me, I think. Because I think a lot of the music I write on my own, I always feel like it has to have some sort of big, crazy, interesting element. And like a lot of the production I like is, kind of sounds like quite... in a way like effortlessly cool almost, or just kind of doesn't have to have that big crazy thing that's like a big lead sound or some crazy bass sound that's just going to be like mental. I kind of just like production that's a bit more chill basically. So
more
I think
of a groove, isn't it?
Yeah, just have it like working with rappers, I just find way more enjoyable. Yeah. And you can catch a vibe in the studio, and they can take it to a different place that you might not be thinking of when you might make the beat or whatever.
Yeah, I guess like the instrumental becomes like the foil for the rapper in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although saying that, there is a lot of rap where people listen to it purely because of the beat, to be fair. And the rapper almost becomes like another instrument in that arrangement. But no, I totally get that. Yeah, and I guess, it's interesting you're saying that as Hyroglifics, I guess, you feel like you've got to, like make sure every production stands out in a way that's like, it needs to have this bass sound or this like crazy whatever. So would you combine the two? Do you think? Would you have rappers featuring on Hyroglifics tunes?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment.
Sick.
Doing like
Rich just raises his hand.
We have actually been trying to work on something for a while, so I'm just like taking the piss with.
Have you just been super flaky, Rich?
No, I've been super catty, and then Matt's like, I don't like that beat anymore, so we need to do something else. Which is totally fine.
It's one of those things where you like make the beat and then you think, oh, maybe it would work, and then kind of down the line, it's just.
You mean when you get it back? Good. When you get it back from an average rapper, all of a sudden it's like, this doesn't work. Wonder why that is. I don't like this shit anymore. Oh yeah, I know why. It's fine. You're not the only one. It's calm. I'm used to it now. I just need to start producing.
Stop being so mean on yourself, mate.
You know what? Like,
do you know what? Are we all just going to have a cry in a minute?
Such a Debbie Downer, really.
I'm really not though. You know me well enough to know I'm not. I just like the sadistic side to cussing yourself off.
Okay.
I'm down with it.
Alrighty.
Anyway, sorry, it's not all about me, is it? What are you saying, Matt?
We were talking about Hyroglifics, ex-rapper projects.
What about rapping? You ever thought of rapping?
Got me.
Seeing you have
voice? Nah,
you have a
definitely not.
mate. If it can work for Birmingham and Coventry, you know, it can work for anyone.
Yeah,
That's just how Rich gets cancelled in Birmingham and Coventry.
You know
Just
what I mean?
slagging off the accents, bro.
I actually really love a Northern accent or a Midlands accent, but yeah, I was only joking. Sorry, guys.
No, I'm excited to hear that though, man. I think more, when I say rap, I mean like rap. I don't mean like MC. I mean like rap. I think that's going to be really cool. Anyone in particular we know about that you can talk about, or is it all just quite early doors?
What I've done projects with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest ones at the moment I can kind of talk about is just the Black Josh and Lee albums.
Sick.
I've also been working with a couple of singers as well. Working on a project with Javon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So are we.
So,
Project Bros.
So yeah.
Nice.
He's a fucking talented writer, that guy.
Absolute shout out
done
Jamin, man. He's a
didn't you?
bad boy.
Yeah.
He's a bad boy. Bristol based as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Sick.
Trying to get him in the studio with Sam. But I think he's just kind of a bit shook about COVID and stuff at the moment. So I think it's quite hard to kind of organise sessions.
Yeah, fair.
Gotta be safe. Are there any people like that you'd like the dream kind of rapper that you'd love to work with? Like if you could like just work with, like literally have anybody.
I'd love to work with, I don't know if have you heard any rap from like Flint, Michigan?
Don't know Flint, Michigan, no.
Okay. It's like a really small town. But there's just a crazy rap scene there. They've got people like Y&J, Louis Ray,
Okay, I've heard of those
RMC
people.
Mike.
Yeah.
RMC Mike for me is he sounds like Seth Rogen. Is it Seth Rogen?
The guy from
Superbad or
Super.
He's in all those
he's a cop.
all
So
those
he's
action films.
got that accent, but just as a rapper. It's weird, but I actually love it so much.
You still think you can't rap, and you just said that sentence, right?
What?
Well, you've got that accent, but he's a rapper. Like Seth Rogen does.
Yeah, but it's no, I don't know, man. You got to listen.
Do you know
to
what I
it.
thought you were going to
I'm in
say?
it.
I thought you were going to say like JPEG Mafia or something. Like,
Oh, really?
because the production for them kind of rappers is super like, it's a super techie like production, like super glitchy, like kind of electronic, like something like that for me would make a lot of sense of your type of style, I think.
I mean, that would be sick, to be fair.
Yeah.
What about from a UK perspective? Was Lee? Were you a fan of Lee Scott? Like before, you obviously did. You go and is that something you sought out to go and like work with him? Did you know what it was about?
Not really. I just kind of knew people who sort of knew him, and I was just kind of making beats with them, and it kind of was like sort of a natural thing. But yeah, I've obviously heard of him before and stuff. And yeah, UK rappers probably like Backroad. I think would be a sick.
Backroad G would be sick.
Because I think personally, I think he's the best rapper in the UK right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He's the most interesting, diverse rapper. Personally, I don't know. How about what you think?
From an energy perspective,
no one else has energy like him.
Nah,
no one
he's
in the
ridiculous.
UK has energy, which is a shame because like a lot of rappers in America and stuff, they've got like dripped out drip and they've got like energy and everyone's crazy and wearing like ski goggles and shit, and here everyone just wants to wear black tracksuits and just look moody and shit, and it's just long, bro. I'm done with it.
Is that what I'm doing wrong?
but you know it, mate. You're speaking facts there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a bit like, it's not charisma because UK rappers have charisma, but like they're a bit more in the US. They're a bit more free with it, aren't they? They're a bit more like eccentric in a way. And yeah, I hear that.
No one's doing that here. Like, and I think that's such a shame. Like I think someone's missing out on a trick. Like if I could rap, I'd just do that right now.
Point taken. On this note, have you heard of a rapper called King Loss from the US? Definitely check him out because he's I'd say pretty much just described him, right? Charisma, like something a bit different.
Yeah, in terms of like levels of bars, it's a cringy statement, but like he's the best right now. I think
no one's touching him for vocabulary, the way he articulates himself on a mic. Like, I've been meaning to post something for a while because like John introduced me to him a little while back. But honestly, this dude is on some other level, man.
Basically, Rich likes him because he makes those metaphors about like space and like alien ships and like
I don't think he really does that.
Divinity, and
that's what I do.
That's what I think
makes
you like
more
him.
relevant ones. He's super fucking intelligent, man, and like he'll loop like 5 or 6 lines together in a way that I haven't really witnessed. I haven't really witnessed that techers to that extent from a rapper potentially ever, actually. Like the way that it kind of, would you sort of agree with that?
Yeah, the schemes are mad.
The schemes are
mad.
Crazy. So yeah, King Loss.
Right.
Is it fair? Like when people talk about rappers, is it fair to kind of include grime MCs?
Why not?
Because the thing is, a lot when people talk about rappers, a lot of the time when people are talking about grime, they specifically refer to grime. But then when they're talking about like just UK rap,
yeah, it's a different thing.
They kind of a lot of people tend to kind of disregard grime from that, and they kind of categorize the hip hop and grime separately.
No, I hear that. I do hear that actually. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Man. Like, what do you think about the way it's categorized?
I think certain people from the grime scene fall into both, but not all fall into this. I think some people are grime rappers, and then some people are rappers but also from grime.
Yeah.
Like like the Skeptors and the, whatever else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Skeptors are weird because obviously he had the whole he did the big US link up with the ASAP mob and everything, and that kind of transitioned him. That kind of transitioned to being a rapper, didn't it? I would say Kano though, for example. I would consider Kano a rapper.
Yeah, Kano is definitely a rapper.
You know what I mean? Kano's definitely. What about Gets?
Definitely a rapper.
Gets was the one. Gets was a rapper. But his sound is still very grime.
This is the thing. Like every project he does, I think there's ample reason to kind of categorize him as a rapper, like you say, Rich. But then it's almost like when he goes grime, he goes so grime, like it kind of like makes
a bit mad. Yeah.
I have a different view on this. I think to me, the term rapper can be used across any genre, and it means you're like good.
You're a lyricist.
If you're the drill or the bullshit trap stuff that he mostly listens to.
But there's some good drill out there.
He released a drill tune like 2 weeks ago.
That's fine. There's some good stuff, but there is some monotonous fucking absolute bollocks where literally I learn nothing and it's just nothing bars that might be a bit catchy, whatever. Then don't call yourself a rapper. Like that, I don't think you're allowed to call yourself a rapper.
I feel like you're the only one who's allowed to say this in the room. I'm not saying shit, but you are because you're a lyricist.
My opinion ain't even valid in this. Like this is just my opinion. And I get quite passionate about it because I fucking hate that shit. I want to hear some content, and that's why I will differentiate between. I think there's some really good grime artists out there that are very, very talented and skilled and absolute dons, but there's also some fucking toilet ones that realistically I listen to and I'm just like,
I think you get that in everything though, don't you?
And that's what I mean. Yeah. So like, if you're a rapper, you're good at it. If you ain't, then you ain't. That's it really. So I'm obviously not, and I'm going to sign out on this one.
I've got a question then. So like, from your perspective as a guy who's lacing the beats for these rappers, do you have an opinion on how good their content is? Like, because obviously I guess you're looking at it from like a musical standpoint, right? Like the tone, the intonation, the flow, all of that stuff. But like what they're actually saying, do you care?
Not really. I think most of rap, it can just be like, it doesn't have to be some crazy like lyricist like thing. Do you know what I mean? You can literally just be like Source Walker or whatever and just literally say like some random shit, and it doesn't really, it's just, you say it with swag and then it's cool. Do you know what I mean? It has its own
deliveries.
Merit, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't have to be so like about punchlines and all this shit. Do you know what I mean? It can just be simple but delivered in a right way.
Yeah.
I'm aware my opinion, that was my opinion, FYI. I'm not saying this is like factual. I'm just like quite passionate about it, but I'm aware of, that being a thing and, have respect for it. I don't, anyone that's doing music and is managing to make a success of it, like mad respect. Because I'm not there yet, so you got to kind of look at it in context. You do actually have to like take a step back and be like, as much as I can be like, oh, it should be like this. I think creativity is no laws. Do whatever you want, and like you said, if someone says something with swag, there'll be the occasional one where someone is chatting shit, and I'll be like, yeah, I quite like this.
Yeah,
so
what's funny?
I'm a hypocrite.
I played him in ASAP Rocky Chin the other day, and he was like, "This is sick."
There was some bars in that though.
Let's be real, ASAP's his bars are like 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
but like his delivery, swagger, everything, even the way he dresses, everything's just, that's what you're saying about the UK US thing, man. Like I agree. I feel like we need more of that in the UK.
You think about like the ASAP mob, like the cozy tapes and shit, all that is, it's not some crazy lyrical content, but it's just, it's done in a way that's
it's just like
sick.
Brooklyn boys just doing their thing. And they do it such style that it's just kind of, it carries a lot of personality. And I totally agree with that, man.
But I definitely love like rappers who do have lyricism as well.
Yeah.
Like I think you can always look at there's two sides to it as well.
Yeah.
I also I think my point of view was it's a very small percentage that I'm getting angry about. It's more like the kind of like mumble rap and then the like couple stares
Bro,
up
that's
from
not,
that.
That's
Hold
not
on,
a small
hold on,
percentage, bro.
hold on. Yeah,
That's
okay,
not a small percentage.
Yeah, but then, you know, like then a little bit above that, like as long as you're like, you know, your content's at least like a 4 or 5 out of 10, I might vibe with it.
So what about 645 AR?
Oh my god, you didn't know about this guy. Oh my god.
Because we've got to talk about that if we're going to talk about this.
Honestly, this guy,
this?
honestly, I can't even describe his music, bro. It's so mad.
They did a Genius where it was like he was, you know, when they do like the lyrics and they explain the lyrics.
You seen that?
He had to
I've
do
seen
one basically.
Oh,
It only makes sense if you watch the video, but yeah.
Okay.
Bro, I might just try and play you a little clip of sitting. Honestly, I forgot about this guy until you said it again because I remember someone showed me him like, I don't know, about a year ago or something, yeah, and I just thought it was a meme. And it is kind of a meme, like it is a meme, but like he's actually doing numbers on Spotify in it, so it's a bit mad.
I feel like we should leave this in.
This is
Like a TikTok thing.
Yeah, this is the only reason I heard it. Why is this? Why is this becoming a fucking thing? Right? I'm gonna wait till the tune stops.
The horse ad libs. They're fucking sick.
This tune's called Yoga and it's got 11,434,000
This is what the guy's doing numbers,
plays. I'm in the wrong fucking game, innit I? What's your viewpoint of bootlegs? What do you think about bootlegs?
I mean, I've done my fair share of bootlegs.
I don't think I've ever had a Hyroglifics bootleg before. Sent to me.
I mean, I did like a few over the.
What are you bootlegging like R&B, hip hop and stuff like that? Or are you bootlegging drum and bass tunes?
So I started doing like bootlegging some drum and bass tunes, and the thing is like. From my perspective, I was just it was like a homage to sort of producers or tracks that I thought was cool. I just want to take it in a different direction.
Absolutely.
And add something a bit interesting. But then I think sometimes people don't always see it that way. Unfortunately, especially there's different generations in drum and bass. And there's definitely different ways of doing things. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like they don't see it the same way as you.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think there's been a few cases where that's happened.
I definitely think there's such thing as a tasteful bootleg. Like something I really enjoy is when someone bootlegs a tune outside drum and bass, brings it into the drummer. Like someone who does that really well. Actually, I shouldn't bait him really there. Don't worry, it's fine. Forget said anything. Going back in the day, like Zero T did a few sick. But Zero T did a few sick like R&B because Keane's proper into like the whole R&B, like 90s R&B thing. He's done a few amazing ones. Like obviously Caliber did that Jaheim one. Like back in the day, which was sick. Like
Spectre Soul did a handful of really good ones as well.
They did the Sampha one. That's what I'm saying. Like for me, when bootlegs are done in that way, and the thing is, I also enjoy the occasional drum and bass bootleg or drum and bass tune. Don't get me wrong. You know, we've played some, but yeah, I think there's definitely an art to it. There's definitely an art to it.
I also think people are just a bit too precious sometimes. Just chill out, man.
I think it's how music, innit? But like, I get it as well. That like if someone's bootlegged your tune, made money off of it, and like without you getting
how do you make money off a bootleg?
Oh mate, people have done some baitness putting bootlegs on like dub packs and all this sort of thing.
But you're a complete waste man if you're doing that.
Absolutely.
Like, that's not
yeah. So I'm saying there's a way to do it. Like obviously you speak to the artist, whatever, and you know they're cool with it. Fine,
High Contrast weren't complaining when Unglued made him loads of P when his got released as a remix, was he?
No, he was not.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just different. I suppose different scenarios lead to different outcomes.
I want to hear some 2021 Hyroglifics bootlegs. Come on.
Yeah, man.
I want to hear some like Sade. I want to hear some like
bootleg of that yoga tune. What was it Yoga?
Don't even go.
645 AR Hyroglifics bootleg. The thing is, I know you got it in you, Matt. As well.
You fucking could. Make it happen.
I know you got it in you, man. So, you know, you're conquering the music world, every genre under the sun, getting battered up right now by Hyroglifics. Next up's the fashion world. Talk to me about this.
I just kind of like started a little brand just to kind of like during lockdown, I kind of started using Illustrator more and sort of learning how to use that and like developing sort of design skills and stuff. And with my friend Sean, started working on a few like ideas and designs and stuff. And I just kind of wanted just another outlet that wasn't music because I felt like during the lockdown, I was working on too much music and there wasn't anything else to to do when I wasn't working on music. So I kind of used it as like another thing that could also sort of then kind of inspire music as well. And also not make me feel like I have to have so much pressure on music all the time.
Yeah.
And also I'm just kind of into that kind of stuff as well, that whole world.
I mean, you know, you dress pretty cool. You're a pretty cool, pretty sharp dresser. Let's put it that way.
When I saw that, it seemed like a very like natural progression for you.
It wasn't it wasn't a surprise to me to hear that you were working on clothing because you know, I just think you're a really sharp dresser, man. I love it. I love the style.
It was a little bit of a surprise when we told you like 5 minutes ago. You're like, what?
No, you know what? It was because I forgot about it. Then I remembered I DM Matt like, yo, if you want some bad boy influencer marketing, send me some.
Don't talk to John.
Send me some garms and that.
But I totally forgot you even DM'd me that too.
Is that what happens when I DM you about tunes?
That's how much.
I'm just shit with my phone.
That's how much Matt cares about me when I message him, and it's just like whatever.
John told me I can have some of his merch if I model it. Literally, he was like, yeah, you can have a hoodie, but you're gonna have to wear one, and we're gonna take a photo of you, and it's gonna be on our balcony, and then we're gonna like do it across all our socials. I was like,
he wants to get paid to model my merch. You're right, bro. Just do it, innit? Just do it. Like, why asking for money? Just do it.
Oh, I wasn't asking for money. I just was like, what the fuck's going on?
But
here?
to be clear, this isn't merch. This is an actual like clothing brand, right?
Yes.
You're doing,
Yeah. It's not like anything related to music, basically.
Sick. Yeah. And can we talk about the name of it, or is it been like announced?
Yeah, it's announced. Yeah, it's called
sick.
Helping Hand, basically.
Sick.
Helpinghandstore.co.uk is the URL if you want to check it out.
Oh no, we can plug stuff here, man. We're all about,
cool.
we're all about the
We
plug
still,
in.
yeah, cool.
Use code Amen Brother for 15% off.
Yeah, no, because Bingo was wearing one on the SW SWU show. I always call it SWU for some reason. It's just SWU in it.
I'm using his studio as a warehouse at the moment.
Okay.
So shout out to him.
Yeah.
For letting me put loads of boxes in the studio.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's funny. When people say like, I need something to do that's not music, you know, most people like play Call of Duty, just like watch Netflix or something. My guys, I'm just going to start a whole other creative venture. Like that's ratings for that, man. Like it's something you said about that work rate though, man. Like your work rate is killer. It's putting a lot of us to shame. Can you just chill out?
It's living in Bristol, man. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's that Bristol freedom.
It's that freedom of not worrying about paying rent. First vinyl, any genre. So I don't know if are you a vinyl head?
I basically only have vinyl that I've released pretty much.
Fair.
I've got a little collection of maybe like 30 records that aren't my own tunes, but I'm not a massive collector, to be fair.
Was your first vinyl then one of your own vinyl? That'd be sick.
I don't think it was, no. I think one of my first vinyl might have been that Disclosure EP. The one that had like boiling on and all that stuff. One of my girlfriend.
The one they blew up on.
Yeah, the very first one. I think it was the one that had that video where there was like loads of naked girls.
That wasn't a real video. That was an unofficial video.
Was it?
Yeah,
it wasn't actually the real video. But everyone knows that video though, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Bro, that's one of the most levels music videos of all time.
Well, I know what I'm doing when I get home after I've smoked my joint and listened to rips.
And
then check that music video.
Well, also listen to 645
Just make sure
I've got to listen to that one as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Disclosure. That's you there first.
So I think it was that, and then I think I also got bought like that Spy EP Back and Forth.
Okay.
Is it called Back and Forth?
I think so.
I feel like Jack would know. Come on.
That is, isn't it?
Thing like
Back to Basics.
Or Back to Basics. Is it Back to Basics?
Back and Forth.
Back to Basics sampler was the EP.
Yeah, he did.
Because there was like an album sampler on. That's such a fucking good EP.
Yeah,
that's a really good EP.
Yeah. I was going out with a girl once and she was really into drum and bass, so she bought me that bass.
You basically get bought vinyl as gifts, is what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I bought a few records. I bought some. I mostly like most of my collection is basically just like 140 stuff, basically. Like I've got some Komodo records, some Khan stuff, some
Komodo's a
Sector 6, Sector 7 stuff. And yeah, I think that's pretty much some Nicholas Jar and stuff. Like, but you know, like I don't really collect vinyl, basically.
Yeah.
Is the long and short of it.
But you're a drum and bass producer, so surely you have 10,000 vinyl records in your house.
Nah, that makes moving a madness.
Yeah, facts. No, big facts. Okay, so I mean, we spoke about musical influences, but like, yeah, I don't know. When you were growing up, obviously you were in a death. By the way, that spun me a little bit. Death metal. That's been one of the biggest revelations of this whole podcast. So was that the thing when you were growing up then? What instrument were you playing, by the way? Was it guitar?
I was the metal screamer singer.
No way.
Oh no, we've got to get a taste of this.
We need a rendition of this right now.
I'm sorry, we have to.
What, right now?
No, we won't make him do it now. Come on.
Are you being serious? Come on, I want to hear this shit.
No, we're not going to make.
I will send you some music though. I found some CDs in my parents' house the last time I went back, and I've got recordings basically.
Yeah.
Any like singing as well, or just the?
I think it's just all like mad screaming basically.
Sick.
I'm going for a piss.
Too many punk IPA.
Too many beers.
I walked out mid-sentence. What were we talking about?
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
We were talking about vinyl, then we moved on from vinyl.
Just do another segment in here, come on.
Oh yeah, the death metal screaming.
Oh yeah.
So,
You're about to do a live rendition, if I remember correctly. Almost.
Nearly.
Yeah, nearly had you.
It was worth a try, worth asking, but yeah, we'll save you the pressure.
Definitely going to do
It was a sick time in my life because I think I even got a day off school once because I like told my headmaster or whatever, I was like, yo, I've got a gig in Brighton. Is it cool to just get like half a day or some shit? And they're like, yeah, it's fine.
Which is like unheard of, isn't it? That usually be like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
That's completely unheard of.
Yeah.
So when I guess like musical like influences and like what you were listening to as a kid, then was it mainly metal? Was it like super varied then? How did that? Yeah, I'm trying to picture like how that all came together.
Yeah, I mean my like kind of my influences have been just mad. Like I think the first CD I ever bought was probably like. Maybe even like Britney Spears or something. Do you know what I mean? Like some mad shit like that. And then kind of like, I was into like sort of a range of pop music. And then I kind of like transitioned into like bands like Bowling for Soup and like kind of like pop punky things. And was into that for a bit. And then kind of progressed from there and got into more metal and sort of like heavier kind of stuff from there. So yeah, that kind of like was me up until like 16, 17 until I started getting interested in like electronic music and stuff. And then, yeah, kind of got into like Hospital Records and stuff. And that was like my first introduction to like drum and bass. Like listening to Danny Bird and stuff and being like, okay, interesting. And then like discovering other things. But yeah, it's just kind of been a bit like a weird mismatch of like loads of different things. I haven't really ever listened to one thing like solidly. It's just always kind of been like jumping to different things.
It seems like that's been a bit since we've been talking to you, like with regards to all your different aliases and stuff. Like you're not really afraid of, branching out, trying new things, listening to all these different genres of music. You seem like you almost relish actually having the diversity within your sort of creative reach effectively, which is a good thing, surely. Yeah,
I mean, it all feeds into each other, innit? So it's like the more knowledge you have on different things, it all kind of feeds back into whatever you're doing. Well, that's how I see it, but yeah.
No, I agree. I think sometimes I'm a bit like closed-minded with that. Like John's cussed me off for it before, like being just like a bit relentless with like D&B. Obviously, I'm mad into hip hop and stuff, but again, you heard my opinion when we were talking about it. It's like, yeah, well, I like this small segment of it if it's like super tech and super lyrical, but I think sometimes it's good to be like that because you broadening your horizons can only be a positive, really, can't it?
Foghorn. Drum and bass.
Your favourite one.
Foghorn Rollers. I mean, you're going to do a B2B of AC13 tonight, so that's an interesting...
He's not going to be here.
He's not going to be here, but you were originally built to be doing that.
Yeah.
Well, what's your take? Because we've had some interesting opinions on this so far. I'm interested in yours. There's a slightly younger producer that we've had on. Actually, you're probably the youngest. How do you feel about it?
How do I feel about
just Foghorn?
Do you like it
as a whole? I
mean, they've got their place in the world, and man, like they've got their time and place, but you're not really going to listen to Foghorn Roller in the bath or something. Do you know what I mean?
Going to listen to Pona and Bryson in the
bath, unless it's 5 a.m. and John's on the decks in your yard, then you might.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know each his own, isn't it? It's just hats off to people who can do that. I can't sit down and make a proper Foghorn tune and put it out there and be like, oh, this feels great.
Yeah. What's your just like kind of spinning off of that? Because we had a really interesting chat with like Lawrence about like the whole kind of like self, because you're as a solo act, like what's your kind of like self A&R process? How do you know when a tune's like ready to go out to the world? And like, do you ever?
I don't know, man. I constantly like and hate things like over a month. Do you know what I mean? Like my opinion constantly changes. Yeah, it's quite hard. It's kind of just chopping and changing. There's no real like method or whatever. It's kind of just how I'm feeling, I think. And then how that kind of fits in different contexts of tunes and stuff.
So have you ever hit a point where like you've released a tune and immediately regretted releasing it?
I don't know. I kind of regret a lot of the earlier stuff I've released because I feel like it was too much. It wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But not anything recently. I think I put a lot of like thought into it before I release it now.
Do you not feel like that's because though you had those early releases that you weren't happy with looking back? I always feel like most producers or most artists in any creative space will have that thing where their early work is never like looking back at it 5 years down the line. It's always like that was never like where I was going to end up. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of at the time that was the best I could do or whatever.
But it's a vital part of the journey, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
I love going back into
That's
people's Spotify's and going right down to that early back catalogue stuff and digging deep. Like, because you can see where somebody came from and kind of I almost feel like you get a better understanding for their music.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and it also shows you the progression of their journey as well. So
yeah. Well, with you though, like it's interesting because like even saying that, I was actually doing a bit of a USB like audit the other day, like just getting rid of loads of like old tunes I'm never going to play again. I think I maxed out one of my USBs or whatever, and like actually like I came back across that first Critical release, and I listened to it again. I was like, this still sounds fresh to me, man. Like I don't know what, like 2015, 2016 or something. Like it was a while back. Like in my context, it was a while back.
Yeah.
That's mad. None of our tunes from 2015.
This is what I'm saying.
Fresh.
This is what I'm saying. Like listen to that Australia tune, man. Like I listened to it again. I was like, I can still play this out now.
Yeah.
Like it didn't sound dated. It didn't sound like it wouldn't stand out like mix wise. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like almost like your style's kind of developed it's developed over the year. Like, this is purely from my perspective anyway. Like, in the drum and bass sense, it feels like your style's developed, but it's just kind of refined. Like it hasn't changed drastically. It's become more refined and a bit more like, it's almost like the thing you learn about getting to the point of the tune or whatever. Like your ideas are purer and like you just kind of got better at like executing your ideas or whatever. But like, yeah, it doesn't feel like you've like radically changed what you did to get more successful. It just feels like you just refine that over time. I don't know if you'd agree with that or like...
No, 100%. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just, for me, I want to be happy with that tune in 20 years time, 10 years time down the line. You know what I mean? I still want to be able to listen to it and not be like, oh shit, like, I wish that was better, or, you know, like, I wish I hadn't put that foghorn in, or... So yeah, I like to stay true to what I think is good.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
That's what it should be.
Not everyone has that though. Yeah. Like not everyone has that, man.
No,
like,
they do not.
Not every a lot of artists have had to change their style to kind of gain traction
and appeal to others.
Yeah. Kind of like the trend hopping thing. So I think it's a really nice thing that you said that you know, you kind of just see it as one long progression of the same style, really. Like that's great.
I think that's a mark of most of my favourite producers within drum and bass is that I could, you know, go through that process of back to their original music and you can still hear that it's them and it's the early sort of growth of their sound, and you can see the distinct evolution of that sound throughout whilst still maintaining a certain level of integrity to the original idea or, you know, sound that they had, basically.
Yeah.
I wish I had that, but you know.
Back to like hating himself again. The guy's so depressing.
It's because I'm drinking beer. I should have stuck to the wine, innit? That's like the wine gives the articulate.
Is the wine a come up for you and the beer's a come down?
I don't know what it is, mate. It's just I think I'm funny on beer, so I just act like this instead. Whereas wine's the intellectual one, innit?
Sure.
John's face looks so disappointed. He's like, Jack, you need to cut this bit out.
Yeah, you just need to cut this guy out of the podcast, Rob. Me and you did the next one. Jesus.
Okay, cool. See, that's why I'm self-deprecating, because of things like that, because I get bullied by John.
Yeah, you get bullied by me. Yeah, that's
no, it's definitely not the case. Fair.
Should we play Whipping Excursion now?
Yeah. Yes.
Jokes.
If you weren't doing music, what other career would you choose and why?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really know, to be fair. I always wanted to be a paleontologist when I was younger, but fuck.
Sick.
Really?
Love that.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to do when I was like kind of young, like 14.
Yeah.
What's your favourite dinosaur?
I don't know, maybe like Velociraptor. They're pretty sick.
They're pretty raw, aren't they?
Pachycephalosaurus.
Wait,
It's the one
sorry,
with the
what was that?
Pachycephalosaurus. It's the one with the exposed. It's the one with the exposed. Wow.
We're never getting cancelled.
Yo.
It's called a Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh my God, stop saying it, man.
Bro, why are you making a thing out of this? That's what it's called. It's the one with the exposed skull and they headbutted each other. That one was a G. That
John
dinosaur was a G.
feels very triggered by you.
I don't feel triggered. I was like, yo.
Well, it's definitely now got to fucking get cut out, isn't
We're
it?
allowed to say
You've
that.
made
It's
a
a
fucking
shame.
thing out of it.
It's a shame.
We're allowed to say that.
didn't-
Let's get it done.
Didn't mean to. We're definitely allowed to say it. I feel like we should leave it in just
No,
for the
it's
sake
got to come out now.
We're leaving that in. Editor, leave that one in.
But yeah, good.
I was going to
good
say,
answer.
did I not get to answer mine?
Oh, well, you want to? What's your favourite dinosaur?
Stegosaurus, bro.
Oh yeah,
Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus are cold. Yeah.
Why a Stegosaurus? That's quite.
You know what? Are
original.
they like herbivores, Stegosaurus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they are, yeah.
you can't ramp with them, though, innit? Like they can ramp, innit? Like they're herbivores, but they can ramp.
I love this about this conversation,
all
right?
dinosaurs ramp.
Nah.
We all assume
Nah,
that
Regardless of whether you
Brontosaurus, they're just big, innit? But they can't ramp. You know what I mean? Like, they
you
can't.
say that, but a Brontosaurus is having up a Stegosaurus.
Nah,
fam.
What the fuck is this conversation?
Mate, Brontosaurus just bowls over with its pure weight. It's like Tyson
They
Fury versus
honestly-
like.
No, Brontosaurus will
Prince
fuck
Nassim.
up a Stegosaurus,
Stegosaurus
bro.
is ramping with
No.
any dinosaur, bro.
No, it's
I'm
not, bro.
coming with the Triceratops.
Bruv.
Triceratops. Yeah.
Triceratops can ramp.
If we're talking about
Bruv.
ramping, like, I don't know, man.
He will
This
ramp your
conversation-
Stegosaurus in the gut.
Nah, listen.
Deaded, bro.
I'm so glad you said gut.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going with that one.
There was an awkward pause afterwards. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
the thing with this
I'm-
conversation, right, just quickly, is the fact that we assume that we know that all these dinosaurs could do certain things because of what these paleontologists have actually said. Oh, this is probably what they were like, but really, it's all just a matter of assumption.
No,
Like,
Stegosaurus had half his skeleton like poking out his body, its spikes in it. So I'm saying like that thing could ramp. Like you try and bite it, yeah, you're getting a mouthful of spike in the mouth, and then I mean, it can ramp.
I always loved going back to Velociraptor. I always loved the noise, you know, like Jurassic Park, not that.
Yeah.
But that's why it's
That one.
completely made up.
Oh,
'Cause
of course
it's
it is. This
how do
is-
they know?
That's what I mean. I'm
it could
leaving
have sounded
on-
like Barbara Streisand for all we know. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that South Park episode.
yeah, you know what I mean?
She does turn into a Tyrannosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. I didn't make that link in my head.
Yeah, sorry, I went there. But yeah.
Yeah, we're going to complete nonsense now.
You said a segue. Fuck me. This
Yeah.
is,
But I mean,
off
this-
piece.
this-
This is why it takes 3 weeks to edit these fucking episodes. It's you two.
Yeah, that is.
That's
Sorry,
what Amen
Jack.
Brothers is all about, though, isn't it? It's broadening the horizons of our listeners.
Just removing any free time that Jack has.
On the next Instagram post we do, I want to hear everyone's favorite dinosaurs in the comments. I want to hear
Yeah,
reasons why they could ramp with a Stegosaurus.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah, for sure. What's the maddest rider you've ever seen, like in the flesh?